Forces are a push or pull that moves things around, and despite there being so many different types, such as tension and air resistance, there are only 4 forces in our universe that dictates how everything moves and behaves. In this video, we will go over what those 4 forces are, how they are used, and what they do. Starting off with the one that we are the most familiar with, gravity, or more precisely, gravitational force. Gravity plants our feet onto Earth and prevents Earth from fleeing into the depths of space. It is a force that attracts any 2 objects together, so we aren't necessarily falling into the Earth, we are just attracted towards it. We don't get attracted to each other like electromagnets though, because even though every one of us has gravitational force between each other, the Earth's force is so much stronger that we are all attracted towards the Earth instead. This force works over an infinite distance, which means that we do have a gravitational force behind some black hole a few million light years away. But luckily, gravity decreases as the distance between objects increases. Despite that, gravity is actually the weakest force out of the 4 forces, despite us feeling it at any given point on Earth. Being significantly stronger than gravity, the electromagnetic force is the force behind the phrase opposites attract. Similarly, it works over an infinite distance, but only applies to charged objects. This force repels 2 negative or positive charges and attracts 1 positive and 1 negative charge. We don't really see this force a lot, since most of the objects that we see every day, like the Earth itself, are neutrally charged. In an atom, this force holds the electrons within its orbit, since the electron is negatively charged and the nucleus is positively charged. Lastly, this force is called the electromagnetic force since electricity and magnetism are closely related, as a moving electric field creates a magnetic field, and vice versa. Moving to the strongest force in the universe, we have the, strong force, which is around 100 times stronger than electromagnetism and 100 undectillion times more powerful than gravity. That's 38 zeros. This is the force that holds these small stuffs together, as it attracts protons and neutrons together in an atom and quarks together in protons and neutrons. Despite its immense power, the strong force is only effective at a very small distance in the subatomic world, up to around 1.5 femtometers, which is 15 meters with 14 decimal places before it. This is more or less 100 million times smaller than the width of a human hair, so as we can see, we don't really feel this insanely powerful force that much. The last force we will talk about is the weak force, which is around 1 million times weaker than the strong force. This force is responsible for changing neutrons into protons, by changing an up quark into a down quark. This means that the weak force is able to change an element into something else completely different, and forms the basis of radioactivity. This is happening all the time in the sun, as the radiation produced by this force in the sun is the energy that comes from sunlight. It works at even a shorter distance, around 1,000 times shorter than the strong force. And there we have it, the 4 fundamental laws that dictate how things move and interact. The gravitational force, being the weakest, attracts any 2 objects over an infinite distance. The electromagnetic force attracts any 2 charged objects over an infinite distance. The strong force, being the strongest, attracts the protons and neutrons and quarks together in an atom. And the weak force changes neutrons to protons and is responsible for radiation. I hope that y'all have learned something interesting today. Thank you for watching, and stay hydrated.